Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. I suggest that you pause the video and run and get a pair of sunglasses, because these opening items that I'm going to show you are just a precursor to some of the other beautiful colors and sparkle and lusciousness that I'm about to show you. This is my second video about arising out of my recent trip to Winnipeg. Basically, I guess, pretty well everything I'm showing you today is textiles. Now, it's not all of them, of course. I did wash a number of things the day after I got home, but they're still on the ironing pile. Let's dive right in. This is a placemat, excuse me, one of a set that Kim bought and just handed me one. I should just measure it for curiosity's sake. 12 by 16 roughly. Now, it's nice, but I have to say, the set of 4 that I found were even nicer. Plain black background. Now, is this not spectacular? So I bought them. I bought 4, gave her 2. Now, even the back side, I mean, I like orange. Maybe not exactly in this combination, but I mean, is this not to die for? It's 11 3/4 by 15. So clearly, these are meant to be journal covers. And the thing is, with this quilted effect, it kind of looks as though a person did all that hard work. And because the backside is equally as nice, like there really isn't anything to do other than maybe, turn up a pocket or something if a person really, finds the size too big. But I don't think that's an issue. Okay, now, what do you think this might mean? Could it possibly mean that there is a peacock journal in my future? At the crop on Saturday, all of a sudden, Thelma started throwing things my way. I mean, we were sitting across from each other, so it wasn't... She didn't have to have a very good throwing arm, but suddenly things were coming my way. And to tell you how concerned I was about the fact that I was flying and had to be able to fit stuff into my suitcase, with all the napkins that I got that day, I removed all the layers. I know, it's totally nuts. I have started a bag with, and you'll see that there are a few other things that came my way. I think this came from the crop too. Things just magically appeared at my spot. And likewise, excuse me, likewise, if I saw anything that I thought somebody, well, this maybe doesn't go. If I saw something that someone I knew needed, then it too got delivered to their spot. I mean, this particular stuff, yeesh. I mean, could you have ordered something, a better match for a peacock journal? This came via Thelma. I will talk more about these flowers in a bit, but you see what I'm saying? Do you see how things happen? Oh, here's some black. And then this is the bodice, or half a bodice, of a dress that I think Thelma had brought it, and I spotted it across the way, and Anyway, long story short, I said to Kim, do you want some of it? So I cut her down the middle, and somewhere else, I guess, at some point we'll see the skirt, I guess. But, I mean, this is black netting over this luscious, well, you can see what the satin color is like. So that I will put aside and keep moving here. Now, for those of you who watched me open the gigantic box that Kim had mailed me some time ago, may remember me saying, oh, here's a sleeve. I wonder where the other one is. Well, I guess Kim saw the video, and do you think that she didn't look high and low and find the other sleeve just so she could give it to me? Like, I mean, I guess, you know, I'm beginning to understand that a person really has to watch what they say around some people, because, you know, it's like ask and you shall receive. I mean, that's nice, that's good, but it's just, I don't know. I thought this was really cute. It's got these hot pink flowers. It was probably a breast cancer thing because of that ribbon there. Cute little inside. Obviously, I can use this, even if it means cutting it off at the seams and so on. I don't have it near me, but this red pom-pom was wrapped on one of those wooden spools. The only reason I knew about those spools was because Dale from Not Too Shabby Chic had mentioned that Marshall's has spools, you know, before Christmas with all kinds of Christmas ribbon on them. And of course, you know, once you use the ribbon or the trim, you've got the wooden spool. Well, when I looked at them, I thought, oh, okay, I don't want to spend $10. But I found a spool, not exactly the same, but lovely, or some might argue lovelier. And this bit of whatever pom-pom stuff was on it. I love this color. I love burgundy. I love purple. I love jewel tones. Anyway, I'm not going to undo this, but this is a gigantic chunk that Kim sort of you know, we were all doing our own thing. Anyway, she was cutting away huge chunks of this to give to those of us who wanted it to, you know, either sew ruffles with. It's maybe about yay wide or so. So good long length of that. So I'm happy about that. This loveliness was in the little red suitcase that I got from Thelma. Just saying. At our very first stop, when we should have been going to a restaurant, but we stopped at Salvation Army, Kim found this. Well, I don't know if she divided this in thirds or since there were 3 of us. Anyway, it was a scarf, you know, just with the lady's scarf. And is it not gorgeous? So magically, a chunk appears. Like, I don't know. I still am baffled by all this. Oh, I should do these flowers now. In one of the stores, I don't remember where or when. Oh, this was sort of, I think I found this on the share table. So it's a little white trim with all those little tiny little pearl type things on there. And it's, you know, scalloped. So that'll be fun to use. This, I think, was still in its package, and it was along with a dozen ribbon roses, excuse me, and was intended as some kind of bridal stuff. But what this whole bag, and you can see there's a great, this isn't it, but a great variety of colors, are these sorts of fabric flowers sewn onto some sort of netting. So of course you can either use it you know, down a page. I didn't pick exactly the most beautiful one, but I thought, isn't this interesting? And maybe, you know, something like this is, you know, la-di-da and good enough to eat. I mean, is that not, does that not just quicken your pulse? This, on the other hand, is a totally different aesthetic, but still would be great, is great. So, geez, I'm sorry about my throat. Might have to pop something here. I bought, I think there were 6 of these. This was, I just kind of stuffed all the same stuff together. And I thought, oh, I can take a lot of this because look how nicely it flattens in my suitcase. Well, the thing is, if you have enough of something, it doesn't matter how flat you squeeze it. You eventually run out of space. Anyway, maybe I'll stop beating myself up about my packing, but really, word to the wise. Wear old clothes, throw them away each day, or at the end of your stay. Take the good stuff home. So you can see a variety of colors. I'm not going to pull them. Oh, look at this one. This is like a little polka dot. Oh, this one is sort of green with some pink in there. I don't know if there are any other printed ones. This was something different, and I'm not even sure. This might have come, honestly, I don't know where this came. This might have come at the crop as well. These just make me so happy. So let me squish these back in the bag. And I think that if any of them are really creased, you know, to the point that they, I mean, they're supposed to look a bit shabby and worn. And I believe that they could be refreshed totally just by holding them over like a steam iron, or a kettle or something. Or steaming them with, you know, I have one of those steamers. This is probably what was in that dollar bag of lace. Now, I took all the binding off the edge, these kinds of things that, you know, make it gathered, because I prefer that it be flat. But I wanted to show you this, and then I can put this stuff in with the peacock pieces. I'm not even, again, I'm so confused. I know some of these things I bought, and some just, like I say, mysteriously appeared, either from the sharing table or from my buddies. So I'll add this bunch to the peacock pile. Whoopsie. And you know what this all means. I have to finish the blush journals and the purple journal, so that I can get on with some of the other stuff. Clearly, I have to do, there's some wider pieces here. Clearly, I have to do some boho journals, or finish the ones I've, you're not going to see that, I guess, white on white, but you can see this one. So, you know, a nice sized piece. What is this, 5 inches? 4.5. This would make a couple great pockets. This was something that I bought, and I just, I washed all this stuff, and I wound this around this thingamajig here. So let me get rid of this. Again, very crushable in a suitcase. Okay. Oh dear. At the crop. Now I think these are just, oh, sorry, again, you can't see anything. What can I put under there? This isn't going to be very good, but I guess it's better than white. It's a file folder. Anyway, there was a package with a bunch of these, and I think we all recognize them from the dollar store. But that doesn't mean that they're not nice or that we won't use them. Anyway, the lady said, take them. Don't you want these? Take them. So, do I need to be told twice? No. So there are 4 of those. And of course, these take dye quite well. In the past, I've dyed them with either coffee or tea. I better leave this here for the time being. Then, at one of the thrift stores, Kim pointed this out to me. She says, you want it? I says, yes. Yes. And then there was this. It looks like somebody maybe started cutting around it. I can finish cutting around it. Obviously, there's a lot of good stuff here. Speaking of sleeves. Oh, look at those cute little buttons. Now, was this the 80s or what? The 80s called and they want their wedding gown back. Again, it's beyond me as to where all this stuff came from. This too is beautiful, and there are 2 pieces of it. This, let me make sure I'm showing you the right side. I guess it's this side with the sparkly stuff. It feels very soft because it's so, sort of tightly woven. And this, I believe, is an identical piece. Anyway, so there's all of that. I think this was at the sharing table. And again, because I've never been to a crop, I imagine, unless they do things very differently in Winnipeg, I imagine that there's always a sharing table at the crop. And of course, some stuff is better than others. And I think what they do at the end of the night is gather it up and donate it to some sort of a charity that provides it to, now is it women's shelters or, I bought these coasters. I thought they were pretty. Oh, I just realized it's the old rubber ring thing. Like a jar ring from a quart. Those people who can will know what I'm talking about. That reminds me, when my kids were young, that was, I don't know, whatever grade that was. It was like, I guess, a Mother's Day gift that the kids worked on in school. It was a hot dish, like a hot pad, like a trivet, made out of yarn wrapped around rubber rings. And somehow it was, I don't know. I don't think I still have it. Anyway, this is another gorgeous piece. Don't remember where it came from. So whatever is left, I guess they box up and take somewhere. Look at this. Now, it is not perfect. Here's a snag, but that can be trimmed. This was a cushion top that I bought this was a cushion that I bought at one of the thrift stores. So, do I have room for a cushion? Of course not. So that night in my room, my hotel room, I cut this open and, take out all the batting. And I'm telling you, whoever was doing the housekeeping there at that hotel or in my, where I was staying, my room, must have been wondering, what on earth is going on? What kind of a weirdo is staying here? Because every day there'd be something new, weird stuff. I mean, I had that, I should maybe cut some of these threads. I'm telling a story. I can't remember if I told you in the video the other day about how, I think I did, that I was greeted with, by Thelma and Kim, dressed in Ukrainian garb, holding this braided Ukrainian bread. So that was in my room. Like, I mean, there were strange things appearing. Now, I did notice, there's something missing here. I did notice that several of the employees, like at the desk or front desk or wherever, were definitely Ukrainian. Now, I bought this at a thrift store. Of course, it was all bundled up, you know, just with an elastic folded up like so. I didn't really know what I was getting, but I thought, I love this. It looks like it's going to be an animal print. It looks like it's got sort of coppery colors in there. So I'm very pleased with this. Now, oh, I wonder which is the right side here. I think it's one of those where, you know, you kind of pick the side you like better. That's almost hard on the eyes. Like, I have a couple of lamps on here. Just because it's 7:45 in the evening as I'm taping this. Kind of an overcast day. Never did have any sun today. But anyway, that quite a few Ukrainian people. Now, of course, Winnipeg has a big Ukrainian population. But I think also some refugees that have relocated there and are obviously in the workforce. Kim comes up to me and she says, do you want this? So it's this skirt. And of course it's got this lace overlay and then kind of a stretchy jersey type lining. So I said, yes, of course I do. Now this was a little teeny weeny person, a size 6. So, you know, even a small garment like that provides a lot of stuff. Now, I was going, there's something here. I was going to throw this in the wash, but thank goodness I didn't. It's dry clean only. And I'm thinking, who in his right mind buys something like that to wear? But hey, I'm glad somebody did. And I'm glad that she donated it. And if there's some staining that can't be removed, then obviously that's when the old coffee or tea comes into play. Okay, this is going to, there's another story with this, of course. So we're just pulling up to this place, this thrift store, and there's a mannequin in the window. And of course, you can see it's a very la-di-da type garment. So we all, we go our separate ways in the store. And then I figured I'm going to go and look at this thing. And, like I like gold. I have no problem with gold. And of course, it's very lush. I think, and I've been the mother of the groom, I think that this was a mother of the bride kind of a thing. This, apparently, I thought it was a full-length dress. I thought it was a dress, the way it was hung on the hanger, because I peeked under the jacket. I thought it was a dress. Well, it turns out that the 4 of us that day chipped in for this one outfit, and we each got a quarter of the skirt. You can see it's pretty long. Let me double it up and you'll get a better idea of how long it really is. This is kind of it doubled up, and that's 22 inches or so. Anyway, let me give you the full effect here. Look at how much there is to salvage here. I mean, there's this lining, which is, not bad. Plus this. All these motifs. These pearls and whatnot. So, Kim, paid, and we paid her. We each chipped in, and so she took it to her place, the place she was staying, her aunt's, and overnight sort of. No one was sleeping. There were either business cards to print or stuff to cut up or whatever. Anyway, so we each get a quarter of the skirt, and then, of course, there was the jacket that needed to be divided up. So you can't really divide a jacket very equally, but, we have different needs, and, you give on something and you get on something else. Let me move this out of the way. This, my lovelies, is the sleeve. Now, can you imagine wearing this? Don't I just look great? Anyway, I took a sleeve. Somebody else took a sleeve. And I guess the other two people divided up the front and the back. Oh my goodness. So my share of this was $6. Do you know how much trim a person could buy brand new for $6? Well, I'll tell you, it isn't this much. It's a fraction of that. Okay, there is more. So, I found, well, again, this is just part of it. I found, I'm getting kind of tangled up here in these threads, this on the sharing table. So this is obvious. There was just this yoke, this bodice part. And this was a sleeve. So Kim said she liked it too. I offered her some, so she got a sleeve, and I think the back part of this as well, because of course, she too had flown to Winnipeg. She too had to be cognizant of what she was saying yes to, what she was buying. And I didn't want to wash this because what are the odds? But I did have a piece that had no embellishment on it that I ran through the dishwasher, through the washing machine, and it came out okay. So I was glad about that. Anyway, so Kim got part of that. And there's more. In the little red suitcase, excuse me, that Thelma had given me was this. You have no idea how heavy this is. It's gorgeous, but it's heavy. Anyway, obviously you can see that I pulled it out of the little suitcase so I could bring it home and put maybe things that were not quite as lovely in the suitcase, so because I can wait for those till July. But is that not obviously part of a sari? So of course these medallions can be used, and these are, well, I guess they're glued on. These sort of like little rhinestones. So that was beautiful. Now, I don't know what she gave Kim when Kim arrived, because of course she had gotten there early, several days before I did. But I guess there was, similar stuff that Kim had gotten. But then Kim saw something in my little suitcase and her eyes lit up. So one evening, I was so stunned, frankly, when I was doing my packing. well, let me just say, I packed my laptop because at one point in one of the emails, Kim said, and she was taking her laptop for downtimes. And I thought, well, hey, that's good. I always have stuff I can do on my laptop. So I take my laptop. Never had it out of the suitcase. Unless, of course, you count the 2 times that I had to show it to not customs, but, security at the airport. Mistake number 1. Don't take your laptop in a situation like this. And because I was packing kind of at the last minute, I'm thinking, what am I going to do at the crop? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I wanted to pack light. So I just took some little quilt squares and some embroidery thread, a couple needles, some sewing thread. And I also thought, well, I'm going to hand sew some snippets. Never even got to the snippet part, but I started slow stitching on some of those little quilt hexagons. And some of them happened to be colors that Kim liked, so I gave those to her. Well, I stitched more and I gave those to her. Where was I going with this? Oh, anyway, at one point, I'm looking through my luggage. This is earlier in the week. And I think, did I forget to pack scissors? Like, OMG. So then I tell the guys, it seems like I forgot my scissors at home. And I'm thinking, how do you go to a crop without scissors? So I end up buying scissors. And there are a lot of crappy scissors out there, let me tell you. And you can spend a little bit of money on them, but if they're crap, they're crap. Like, simple as that. I tried cutting paper there in the store. But let me just say that, hey, does this match the other thing? Oh, yeah, that's part of this. Anyway, so I had these miserable scissors, and this was what Kim spotted in my suitcase gift from Thelma. And again, lusciousness. And of course, it's been used. There are things that need whatever, but do we care? No, we don't care. So anyway, this must have been quite a full skirt or something. Anyway, spread it out on my bed, and essentially you can see how I chewed at it, because that's how lousy those scissors were that I ended up buying. Like, really. But this too is heavy because it's got so much decoration on it. So again, you can see it gets a little, sparser as you go up. But even this is beautiful. And then, of course, a lot more. And this too is heavy. So anyway, Kim got half of that. So I was happy about that. And I think I have just one more thing to show you. I'll just try to kind of roughly fold this up. Now, my washing machine, well, my dryer actually has that, I don't know what it's called, that feature that sort of refreshes things. I wonder if let me do the sniff test. Well, it could stand some refreshing. I wonder, does anybody know, can I put something like this, in a mesh bag or something, and just run it through there? I mean, I'd hate to melt all the gauze or something and have nothing but sequins and bling at the bottom of the, wouldn't that be just a nightmare? Oh my goodness. Okay, last item for today. Give you a hint. This is what we start with. And you can see it's sort of got that, I want to say iridescent quality to it. Like, is it purple? Is it black? Is it, you know, it's sort of that. And then you see this, and this, and this, and this, and this. OMG. So this too was in that little suitcase. So, are there going to be, where did this come from? Are there going to be some boho projects in my future? Whoops. Darn tootin'. So maybe rather than waste your time having me fold this in front of you, I'll just leave it here as I say my goodbyes and just reiterate once again how grateful I am for the friendships I made over the last several days, how much fun I had with the ladies, and some of the things that I found that clearly I've never seen here, or certainly, like I've never seen, where did I put them? You know, those fabric-y flowers. I've never seen those here. I also believe, and again, you know, you can't say it across the board, but it also felt to me like those prices were better. Now, I suppose the difference would be that typically, if I go thrifting, it's in Edmonton. So that's obviously a capital city. You know, it's bigger than Winnipeg. It's also, most of the places that we went to were in small town Manitoba. So I think everyone acknowledges that thrift store prices have been going up, as has everything else. And we are all smart cookies. We're all savvy. We know that we need to know our prices because you can overpay at a thrift store just as easily as anywhere else. But we also have to, I mean, we make those decisions, those purchasing decisions based on our own circumstances. No one should be using grocery money or rent money to buy textiles, clearly. So everybody knows what they can afford and when and how much they already have and that sort of thing. Now, many of the things I came home with were gifts, as I gifted people with things and as I took things to share. So that's all good. But I think, you know, we do have to be careful, you know, not to overpay, because it is easy to, you know, at one point we were laughing about, you know, that whole, I just hate it, but anyway, others love it, that IKEA commercial where that woman with that awful hairdo and is loaded down with bags is yelling in her screechy voice to her husband to start the car, because of course she had just scored some incredible deals at IKEA. And I think we've all felt that way. And there's sort of an endorphin rush that we get when we're happy, when we're shopping, when we think we've scored something incredible. So it is, you know, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. I think we do have to, you know, I mean, I couldn't live like this all the time, for sure. It was so much fun. We laughed so much. But the reality is that, you know, we all have to have a place to, number one, we have to be able to afford to buy it. Number two, we have to have the space to store it, or a means to turn it over. And I don't mean, you know, flip it or whatever. That could mean, well, repurposing it, reselling it, sharing it, or whatever. But yeah, I think we all need to every so often just kind of remember what we're doing and why we're doing it. And with that, on that downer, sorry guys. No, but I mean seriously, if you haven't had that thought at some point, then well, congratulations, because I know the rest of us have. You know, you don't have to watch many thrifting videos to hear people say those things. So anyway, sorry if I ruined the buzz, but I do think it's important that we just think about it every so often. However, I'm going to enjoy this stuff so much. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. There will be some more videos coming. I do have to get back in the habit of crafting, though. I was working like a fool, making videos and scheduling, and so I could leave guilt-free. But I'm almost out of tape videos. So yeah, I'm gonna have to actually like do something. So yeah, I did get some books. And you know, books are so light. What else? Oh, those things that needed ironing. And probably that would be about it, I think. So, again, thank you for joining me, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.